ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीमद् भागवतम Canto 7 Chapter 2 Verse 37। श्री यम उवाच अहोमीशां वयसाधिकानां विपश्यतां लोकविधिं विमोहः यत्रागतस्तत्र गतं मनुष्यं स्वयं सधर्मा अपि चोच्चयन्त पार्थम्। Shri Yamaraja said, as a boy, Yamaraja is speaking, alas, how amazing it is. These persons who are older than me, because he has come in the body of a small boy, these persons, referring to all the queens, who are older than me have full experience that hundreds and thousands of living entities have taken birth and died. Very, very powerful words. They have more experience. They have seen so many people taking birth and dying. Thus, they should understand that they are also apt to die. Yet still they are bewildered, meaning everybody is going to die. Still, they are bewildered. They are affected by this. The conditioned soul comes from an unknown place and returns after death to that same unknown place. There is no exception to this rule, which is conducted by material nature. Knowing this, why do they uselessly lament? Unknown place. So Prabhupada is explaining that Avyaktadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata vyaktani dhananyeva tatra ka paridevana. All created beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when they are annihilated. So what need is there for lamentation? So we are all in the body of Mahavishnu, then we manifest, we get a body, then again after this term is over, again we go back to him. Or we go to another body, and then when pralaya happens, then we go back to Mahavishnu, again we're just doing this, again and again. So what need is there for lamentation? It's happening eternally. From time immemorial, this giving up body, taking another body has been happening. So what is new? Accepting that there are two classes of philosophers, one believing in the existence of the soul and the other not believing in its existence, there is no cause for lamentation in either case. So this is the Bhagavad Gita argument. Like Krishna is telling Arjuna, saying that if you believe also, you don't have to lament, because if you believe anyway, then soul is there, body is temporary. If you don't believe also, what? It's just a bag of chemicals. It's getting destroyed, recreated. Why do you have to lament for that? Non-believers in the existence of the soul are called atheists by followers of Vedic wisdom. Yet, even for argument's sake, if we accept the atheistic theory, there is still no cause for lamentation. Apart from the separate existence of the soul, the material elements remain unmanifested before creation. From the subtle state of unmanifestation comes manifestation. Just as from ether, air is generated, from air, fire is generated, from fire, water is generated, and from water, earth becomes manifested. So this is the process of creation. So there is the subtle Mahatattva, Pradhana, then Mahatattva, then from that Mahatattva, which is the unmanifested material elements. The Pradhana is unmanifested, then in Mahatattva it becomes agitated. The material elements become agitated, which means that now they will get into movement to create, for creation to happen. So then what happens? From that subtle manifestation. So from ether, first there is ether. From ether, air is generated. From air, then fire gets formed. Then from fire, water is generated. From water, earth becomes manifested. And thus, all the Panchamahabhutas come into existence. And from earth, many variety of manifestations take place. Right? For example, a big skyscraper is manifested from the earth. When it is dismantled, the manifestation becomes again unmanifested and remains as atoms in the ultimate stage. The law of conservation of energy remains, but in course of time, things are manifested and unmanifested. That is the difference. Law of conservation of energy means energy is in some form, it's not lost. So it is in an unmanifested form, then it takes some specific manifested form, like a building. And again, when it gets annihilated, when it gets destroyed, again that same energy is there in the unmanifest form in terms of the original elements. So there is no difference. You're just taking up different forms at different times, that's all. Then what cause is there for lamentation? Somehow or other, even in the unmanifested state, things are not lost. Both at the beginning and at the end, all elements remain unmanifested, and this does not make any real material difference. It does not make any real material difference. It's unmanifested, then manifested. If you accept the Vedic conclusion as stated in Bhagavad Gita, Antavantai me deha, that these material bodies are perishable in due course of time, nityasya yokta sharirinaha, but that the soul is eternal, then we must remember always that the body is like a dress. Therefore, why lament the changing of a dress? So, Bhagavad Gita 101, basic Atma Gnana. The material body has no factual existence in relation to the eternal soul. It is something like a dream. In a dream, we may think of flying in the sky or sitting on a chariot as a king. But when we wake up, we can see that we are neither in the sky nor seated on the chariot. The Vedic wisdom encourages self-realization on the basis of non-existence of the material body. This is self-realization, realizing that we are not the body, we are soul. That is self-realization. Therefore, in either case, whether one believes in the existence of the soul or one does not believe in the existence of the soul, there is no cause for lamentation for loss of the body. In the Mahabharata, it is said, Adarshanaad ihayataha punash adarshanam gataha. This statement could support the theory of the atheistic scientist that the child in the womb of the mother has no life, but is simply a lump of matter. To follow this theory, if the lump of matter is aborted by a surgical operation, no life is killed. The body of a child is like a tumor, and if tumor is operated upon and thrown away, no sin is involved. So this is the atheistic argument, scientist's argument. The same argument could be put forward in regard to the king and his queens. The body of the king was manifested from an unmanifested source, and again it became unmanifested. Since the manifestation exists only in the middle between the 2 points of unmanifestation, why should one cry for the body manifested in the interim? So, Yamaraj as a boy is just coming and saying, why are people lamenting for death? The material elements which form the body previously were unmanifested, then they become manifest, then again they become unmanifest. And the Atma is present here, then it moves into the body of Mahavishnu, then again it comes. Now all these things are happening. So the body is anyway temporary, and it is there today, it will go tomorrow. It's like in a dream. So why should one lament? Aho vayam dhanyatama yadatra tyakta pitrubhyam na vichintayamaha abhakshamana abalavrikadibihi sarakshita rakshati yohi garbhe. It is wonderful that these elderly women do not have a higher sense of life. Higher sense of life, meaning what this life is all about. They don't have a higher sense. They have a lower sense, which is bodily platform. Yeah, it is wonderful, meaning it is a wonder. Surprising. How is it that they don't have a higher sense of life than we do? We do, he is saying, because he is like a boy. Indeed, we are most fortunate, for although we are children and have been left to struggle in material life, unprotected by father and mother, and although we are very weak, we have not been vanquished or eaten by ferocious animals. So he's maybe talking about himself, that he's an orphan, doesn't have any father and mother, is unprotected, he's left to struggle in material life, and is very weak. But still, we've not been vanquished. or eaten by ferocious animals. Thus, we have a firm belief that Supreme Person of Godhead, who has given us protection even in the womb of the mother, will protect us everywhere. Now, this is a very higher level of faith. one one argument for this could be saying that okay, he has remained, he's not been vanquished because of his karma phala. Okay, that is one argument. But even if somebody was supposed to be vanquished because of karma phala, if they've taken shelter of Krishna, then they can be protected. So that is a higher uh, aspect of faith. And as a child, Yamaraja is teaching, saying that see, we have to have firm faith in the Supreme Lord that he is going to protect us. This is Sharanagati. Anukulis Sankalpa, Pratikulis Vajanam, Rakshishati Vishwaso. Rakshishati Vishwaso, that he is going to protect. You have to have firm faith. It's very important. Stated in Bhagavad Gita, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hriddesha Arjuna Tishtati. Lord is present in core of everyone's heart. Thus the Lord gives protection to everyone and gives the different types of bodies the living entity wants to enjoy. Everything is done by the order of the Supreme Person of Godhead. Therefore, one should not lament the birth and death of a living being which have been arranged by the Supreme Lord. Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham pradisannivishto mattasmritir gnanam apohanam cha. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. One must act according to the direction of the Lord within the heart. But because the conditioned soul wants to act independently, the Lord gives him the facility to act and experience the reactions. See, this is our problem. We've discussed this multiple times. We want to act independently. But actually, one must act according to the direction of the Lord within the heart. But because we want to act independently, Lord gives us facility to act. And then what happens? We have to experience the reactions. If we simply follow what the Lord is saying, there is no reaction to it. It becomes a karma. An action which doesn't generate any reaction. But because we want to act independently, we are doing things at our own risk. Lord says, Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vrata. Give up all other duties. Please, Prabhupada translates this differently in different, based on the scenario being discussed. Here it is give up all other duties. Duty. What duty? Grahastha duty. Taking care of family. He's saying give up. And simply surrender unto me. Of course, so this is a this should not be imitated. Who can give up all other duties? Who have really no attachment to any duties and who have no attachment to this material world and who are extremely attached to Krishna. Such people can give up duties. But still, Mahajanayana Gatasya Panta, they will do their duties just to set an example. But internally, they are not attached. So in one sense, they have also given up all duties. And they've simply surrendered to Krishna. Saying that, okay, Krishna, you take care. You do what is required. I'm going to serve you as your servant. That's all. One who does not abide by the orders of the Supreme Lord is given the facility to enjoy this material world. So, one who does not abide by the orders is given a facility to enjoy this material world. So, if we abide by the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then there's no question of enjoying this material world because this material world has been created just for our rectification, reformation, and whatever anyway is there in this material world has to be used for the pleasure of Krishna. So somebody might say, why is it that the Lord is not restricting him? Instead of restricting him, the Lord gives the conditioned soul opportunity to enjoy so that by mature experience, is very, very important. We don't simply listen. When somebody says, no, don't do this, it's not good for you, we are not ready to hear. So Prabhupada is saying, because we have that nature, Krishna gives us opportunity to enjoy. So that by mature experience, after many, many births, Bhuvanam Janmanam Ante, he will understand that surrender to the lotus feet of Vasudeva is the only duty of all living beings. He will understand that how much ever effort I put in doing karma, I am not going to be happy. Finally, he will decide, okay, no use. Let me just surrender to Vasudeva. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. This is the reason, because we don't simply hear by, we're not ready to change ourselves just by hearing. So then what happens? We have to experience the misery of this material world, and then we will come to our senses saying that, oh, yes, 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 see, this is true. Mm. Yesterday I was talking to somebody, and they're having a lot of challenges in their material life, you know. Mm, and the Mataji was saying that mm, we have everything, but we are not happy. He said, yeah, good, so that you realize that. Because till we realize that, how much ever we tell somebody, they're not going to understand. This is third class intelligence. Shastra talks about three levels of intelligence. Third class is, even after experiencing it, we don't learn. That is the third class, worst. And that's what we've done. Multiple times we've experienced the same thing, but still there is some hope. Oh, maybe next time it will work. Then after repeated next times also failing, then Bhunam Janmanamante. Finally, we surrender to the lotus feet of Vasudeva. And some devotees keep questioning, saying that, why am I suffering? Why am I suffering? Just because of this. We have not come to this. If we come to the stage of Vasudeva Sarvamiti, then there's no lamentation. Hmm. Many of us think we are alone. No, we are not alone. Vasudeva is with us. Krishna is with us. But all this has to come by mature experience. We have to experience. And if we want to make sure that Krishna is there with us, then surrender unto him, take up some service which is beyond your ability. And then you'll naturally experience Krishna's presence. Because we can't do it by our own ability. Then Krishna will show his presence. Krishna will say, okay, go on, try. You're trying sincerely, go ahead. I'm there with you. That we can experience only when we take up something huge in Krishna's service. Okay, so so we have to remember this. Okay, and material world, material body, all this is temporary. It is there. It'll go. But the only protector is the Supreme Lord, and we should have firm belief in that. You have to have firm belief. This is surrender. Ya ichchayesha sujatidam avyayo ya eva rakshatyavalumpate chaha yaha tasya balah kridanam mahurishitus characharam nigraha sangrahe prabhu. The boy addressed the women, oh, weak women, weak-minded is what it is, weak-minded. Only by the will of the Supreme Person of Godhead, who is never diminished, is the entire world created, maintained, and again annihilated. This is the verdict of Vedic knowledge. This material creation, consisting of moving and non-moving, is exactly like his plaything. Being the Supreme Lord, is completely competent to destroy and protect. Plaything, Prabhupada, I don't know whether here or somewhere else, he says it's like children who build castles in sand on the beach. It's their plaything. They will create it and they will destroy it. So this material world is like that. He creates, he destroys. He's not attached to it. He's creating this just for our rectification. He's created this just for our rectification. And he's completely competent. See, we should always remember this. Many times we think we just forget about Krishna, and in our life situations we forget that, okay, situation beyond me, but we don't remember Krishna. We should remember Krishna and remember that he is completely competent. Again, this conversation I was having with this person yesterday. So saying, no, that person is not going to change. I said, then you're not completely competent. You don't have faith in the complete competence of the Supreme Lord. You don't have confidence that he can do anything. He can change anything, provided you have that faith. So what is required is faith. And Krishna will reciprocate. That's the beauty of Krishna. It's not that he's waiting for us to come to some level of maturity in spiritual life. No. The maturity in spiritual life is actually, it's indicated by our faith in Krishna. It took me many years actually to understand this, that it's not any other qualification. It's simply faith. There's no other qualification required. Everything else is good to have. But the only qualification required is to have faith in Krishna. In this regard, the queens might argue, if our husband was protected by the Supreme Lord when in the womb, why has he not been given protection now? To this question, the answer is ya icha yesha srijati idam abhyayo ya eva rakshati avalampate chayah. One cannot argue with the activities of the Supreme Person of Godhead. Lord is always free and therefore he can protect and can also annihilate. He's not our order carrier. Whatever he likes, he will do. But whatever he likes, whatever he does is also for our good. Therefore, he is the Supreme Lord. Lord does not create this material world at anyone's request, and therefore he can annihilate everything merely by his will. That is his supremacy. If one argues, why does he act in this way? The answer is that he can do so because he is the Supreme. No one can question his activities. If one argues, what is the purpose of this sinful creation and annihilation? The answer is that to prove his omnipotence, he can do anything and no one can question him. If he were answerable to us concerning why he does something and why he does not, his supremacy would be curtailed. So this is one argument which actually Parikshit Maharaj also gives, Shukadev Goswami also gives to Parikshit Maharaj. When Parikshit Maharaj repeatedly is asking, how Krishna can do these things, dance with the gopis like that. Actually, Shukadev Goswami becomes like angry in one way, in one sense. And he says, you don't question all these big, big, powerful people. They can do whatever they want. It's a anger, loving anger. It's like saying, how can you even question? How can you even think of questioning the Supreme Lord? That mood wherein actually see even in this purport, Prabhupada could have given some rationale or people who don't believe this or who might question saying that, okay, if his supremacy is an autocrat, can he do anything he wants? Shouldn't there be any logic? So Prabhupada is not explaining it. Uh, Hare Krishna, can you please mute yourself? Prabhupada is not explaining, giving any rationale. He's just saying, no, he's supreme, he can do anything. Who are we to question him? Hmm. And of course, other places he also explains Krishna's nature and how he does things, why he does things, etc. But we should also not forget his supremacy. But whatever he does, actually, is for our benefit. Mm. Because he's our well-wishing friend, father, everything. But also, we can't question him, saying, "Oh, Krishna, why are you doing this to me?" Simple answer is, it's for your welfare. More, yeah, response by a devotee who is in love with Krishna, who's seeing somebody questioning his supremacy is, what right do you have to question him? He can do whatever he wants. He's omnipotent. So we can give both answers. पतिच्युतं तिष्ठति दिष्टरक्षितं गृहे स्थितं तद्विहतं विनश्यति जीवत्यनाथोऽपि तदीक्षितो मने गृहेऽपि गुप्तोऽस्य अतो न जीवति. Sometimes one loses his money on a public street where everyone can see it, and yet his money is protected by destiny and not seen by others. Thus the man who lost it gets it back. On the other hand, if the Lord does not give protection, even money maintained very securely at home is lost. The Supreme Lord gives one protection. Even though one has no protector and is in the jungle, one remains alive. Whereas a person well protected at home by relatives and others sometimes dies, no one being able to protect him. See, this is also very interesting. Yamaraja could have talked a lot on the principles of karma and karma phala because he is the one who is judging us, right, and giving us punishment, etc. But see, he is simply talking on the platform of surrender to the Supreme Lord because he is a great devotee. He could have given us a lot of arguments on why we should do, because if we don't do, we are going to suffer. No, but he's not saying any of that. He's just saying Krishna is there to protect. So depend on him, surrender unto him. That's his message. These are examples of the supremacy of the Lord. Our plans to protect or annihilate do not act, but whatever He thinks of doing actually happens. The examples given in this regard are practical. Everyone has had such practical experiences. And there are also many other clear examples. For instance, Prahlad Maharaj said that a child is certainly dependent on his father and mother. But in spite of their presence, the child is harassed in many ways. In Prahlad's case, his own father was harassing. Sometimes, in spite of a supply of good medicine and an experienced physician, a patient does not survive. Therefore, since everything is dependent on the free will of the Supreme Person of Godhead, our only duty is to surrender unto Him and seek His protection. So, this is the principle being communicated here, is saying that just surrender to Krishna. He is supreme, He is all powerful. Simply surrender unto Him. Whether whether you're capable, not capable, any which way, there's nobody capable enough to deal with deal with destiny, because it's also the energy of the Lord, right? So more intelligent people will not go in arguing on these lines, but will simply understand, saying that no, 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 I can't fight this world alone. I better surrender to Krishna, and then He will protect me because of just the love. Mm. So this is very, very important. We need to surrender, and all our life situations are just to push us to surrender to Krishna. And once we surrender, then there is no more testing. Testing is over. But the surrender has to happen at different levels. Ultimately, complete surrender. Like Draupadi, lifting our hands and says, Krishna, I don't know. I'm completely dependent on you. You make me dance. Like Prabhupada, see, just, Prabhupada, that such a exalted devotee. He says, make me dance, make me dance, make me dance. And I will dance as per your instructions, as per your tunes. That is the highest. And, for somebody who's such a great devotee, at the age of 70, externally, at least to show all of us, he's being tested. Prabhupada was tested when he went to America, isn't it? So just imagine how much the level of surrender has to be so high. Mm. So this is our continuous effort in every situation. Surrender, surrender, surrender. Just remember these two things: humility, surrender. These two things are our cornerstones. Of course, sincerity, seriousness, if it is there, then we will develop humility and we'll surrender. So, first level is sincerity, seriousness. Second level is humility and surrender. Then automatically we will make progress. Beautiful. भूतानि तैस्तैर्निजयोनि कर्मभिर् भवन्ति कालेन भवन्ति सर्वशः न तत्र आत्मा प्रकृतावपि स्थितस् तस्या गुणैरन्यतमो हि बध्यते. Every conditioned soul receives a different type of body according to his work, and when the engagement is finished, the body is finished. Although the spirit soul is situated in subtle and gross material bodies in different forms of life, he is not bound by them, for he is always understood to be completely different from the manifested body. Here it is very plainly explained that God is not responsible for the living entities accepting different types of bodies. One has to accept a body according to the laws of nature and one's own karma. Therefore, the Vedic injunction is that a person engaged in material activities should be given directions by which he can intelligently apply his activities to the service of the Lord to become free from material bondage of repeated birth and death. Swakarmana tam abhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha. And also in the 7th chapter in Bhagavad Gita, like Krishna is saying, Apare mitastvanyam prakritim vidhi me bharam jiva bhuta mahabhavo yayedam dharyate jagat. And the dharyate means we can either properly utilize Krishna's facilities of material nature or misuse. So what we have to teach or what we have to learn is to make proper use of material facilities. Proper use means for the pleasure of Krishna, not for sense gratification. The Lord is always ready to give directions. Indeed, his directions are elaborately given in Bhagavad Gita. If we take advantage of these directions, then in spite of our being conditioned by the laws of material nature, we shall become free to attain our original position. Namevaya prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. So all of us have to remember saying that we are conditioned to different extents. And let's not worry about others' conditioning. Most of the times, we are worried about others' conditioning, but let's be worried about our own conditioning. How will we know our own conditioning? We have to be self-introspective. We have to introspect into our behavior. Think about, okay, what did I speak? How did I speak? Whom did I speak with? What was the impact that had on that person? If required, we can even ask the person, saying that, whatever I said, was it okay? Did it hurt you? Was there anything? We can ask. And we have to come out of this conditioning. That is one aspect. We should have firm faith that the Lord is supreme and that if we surrender to Him, He will take charge of us and indicate how we can get out of material life. Dadami buddhi yogam tam ena mam upayanti te ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tataiva bhajamyaham. We have to surrender to Him and depend on Him, and then He will give us the direction. He will take charge. It's very, very important. He will take charge of us. Without such surrender, one is obliged to accept a certain type of body according to his karma, sometimes as an animal, demigod, etc. Although the body is obtained and lost in due course of time, spirit soul does not actually mix with the body, but is subjugated by the particular modes of nature with which he is sinfully associated. Meaning, based on the modes of nature he is associating with, he will get that kind of body. It's not that he is going to mix with the body. Spiritual education changes one's consciousness, should change one's consciousness. And one has to get spiritually educated, which means that they should be daily for substantial amount of time reading Prabhupada's books, etc. And then what does that do? That spiritual education, it will change our consciousness. Of course, they're not just by gnana, but by chanting is when we will get the strength to actually apply these teachings in our life. So, which is why Prabhupada's morning program is the complete holistic program, right? Chant, read, chant, read. And when we do that, chant, read, and then during the day apply. Chant, read, during the day apply. This is how we change. This is how our consciousness changes. And we have to come to what consciousness? Simply carry out the order of the Supreme Lord. That's all. And nothing else should even come into our thinking. Just focus on my bhakti and Krishna. And of course, my bhakti means I'm not alone. So I'm then in the association of devotees. Then I should, based on, deal with devotees accordingly, based on their maturity, qualification, etc. Discriminate, associate properly, serve jointly together, and work to carry out the order of the Supreme Lord. That's all. If we do that, then we become free from the influence of modes of material nature. Idam shariram purushasya mohajam yatha pratak bhautikam yiyate griham yataudakaihi parthiva taijasair janaha kalena jato vikrato vinashyati. Just as a householder, although different from the identity of his house, thinks his house to be identical with him, so the conditioned soul, due to ignorance, accepts the body to be himself, although the body is actually different from the soul. So this is another example given, right? Like a householder, he thinks that his house is him. So if anything happens to the house, then he's affected. Like that similarly. So anything happens to the body, conditioned soul is becoming affected. Due to ignorance. That's all. He's accepting. Conditioned soul is accepting the body to be himself. This body is obtained through combination of portions of earth, water, fire, fire, and when the earth, water, fire are transformed in the course of time, this body is vanquished. Soul has nothing to do with this creation and dissolution of the body. Yeah, so we transmigrate from one body to another in bodies that are products of our illusion. Products of our illusion, meaning the way we are conditioned, according to that, we'll get one body. But as spirit souls, we always exist separately from material conditional life. But we don't realize this at all. We don't realize our separate existence. Because of that illusion, we seem to feel one with the body or one with the mind. Of course, see, the mind, if it is material, then it is cause of problem, and if it becomes spiritualized, then it will be cause of liberation. And that spiritualized mind, spiritualized body, then is the natural situation. We can't just think of ourselves as without the body, right? Because mm, we are functioning now on the uh, this body is our machine. We can't suddenly get out of this machine. We need some body. And that body, instead of being material, should be spiritual, which is why the process of bhakti, it spiritualizes
Everyone,
us.
great science.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. What's going on? Okay. Please don't unmute if you are speaking to somebody else. Uh, yeah, so I was saying that, what was I saying? Yeah, so the body has to be spiritualized. Hmm. And then we will function in the spiritualized body. So what am I trying to say? The mind is active all the time. We can't separate ourselves from the mind because we are in a body which has a mind, and the mind is going to do its duty, which is just keep thinking, feeling, willing. Now we can't separate ourselves from the mind, and so we can't separate ourselves from the body right now in terms of consciousness thinking. But when we engage ourselves continuously, as much as possible in devotional activities, then the mind, intelligence, senses, everything is getting spiritualized. So now with the same mind, we are functioning, but now we are on the spiritual platform. It's not that mind suddenly it will stop thinking. No, mind will now stop thinking of material things and only think of Krishna and Krishna's service. That is a spiritualized mind. Still, there are going to be thoughts coming, but they're only going to be with respect to Krishna and his service. Hmm. The example given here is that a house or a car is always different from its owner. But because of attachment, the conditioned soul thinks it to be identical with him. A car or house is actually made of material elements. As long as the material elements combine together properly, car or house exists. And when they're disassembled, the house or the car is disassembled. Spirit soul, however, remains as he is. Again, so this looks like, again, Atma Gnana repeated for us so that, we can again be situated in this knowledge. And we should always remember, whenever I'm stuck in some material situation, it's just in my ignorance. In my ignorance, I am struggling in some material situation. If I come to knowledge, then I understand, okay, I'm not the body, I'm soul. This situation has come because of my previous karma. My job is to serve Krishna, right? And then we just go on with our service and tattenu kampasu samikshamana, just waiting for Krishna's mercy, uh, so that that suffering might stop whenever he wants. That's all. And generally, we should not think about running away. We should not run away from situations. That's not going to help anything. If we run away from one situation, then we'll be faced with another situation. Because suffering seems like suffering is there. So till that suffering is there, whether we run from here to there, there to somewhere else, it's just going to come in different forms. That's all. So there's no running away. Okay, so I'll stop here. If anybody has any comments, questions, feel free. I think it's the same thing we've been repeating, so hopefully it's clear. Okay, then we'll close. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveta Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhubhyo च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Nanda Koti Vaishnavanda ki jai. So tomorrow is Vaikuntha Ekadashi. So we're not going to have class tomorrow and maybe even day after, because by the time we wind up, it'll be midnight. So 2 days we are not going to have class. So we'll resume on 1st. So I request everybody to please step out of the comforts of your house on Vaikuntha Ekadashi, and also on Jan 1st, because a lot of people come to temples and they want their new year to be auspicious. Uh, so please go and distribute mercy. Don't remain in your house. Okay, there's just 2 days in the year when we should at least 1 month, at least if not 1 month, 2 days, if not 2 days, at least one day, at least we should go out. Somehow or other, try to distribute this mercy. Okay, and we hope and pray that Krishna, Prabhupada, or Acharyas empower us to distribute that mercy, because it's only by their mercy that we can distribute. We can't distribute by our strength, by our abilities. So play humbly in humility. We should go engage in his service. Don't worry if somebody else is doing, not doing. We're not competing with anybody. It's just our process of purification. Even if we are in a team and then you are the only person doing, feel happy that Krishna is giving you more opportunity to serve. And it's that sincerity. We're not so worried about score. Of course, yes, Prabhupada was concerned about score, but that's an outcome of sincerity. That's all. Okay, yeah. So humble request to everybody. Yes, Vinod Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Raghu. Yeah. I mean, so we from our center we are covering around 4 5 temples, Raghu. So I just wanted to ask, just some tips, So now that a lot of devotees are going out, especially for Vaikuntha Ekadashi,
Mm-hmm.
to distribute books. So I mean, yeah. So you said the mode, yeah. So just be humble, but I mean, a lot of times practical challenges are there. So whoever you try to distribute, they tell you that, oh yeah, yeah. So I already have a book, right?
Yeah.
So what are some practical tips, or how you approach them, or how you? I mean, we don't want to influence them, but how do you get started on the conversations, and what should be the mood? Yeah, definitely not about the score. Yeah,
Yeah.
but some
So two
practical
things.
tips.
Yeah. So two things. My experience so far has been, you have to see the person and then decide what you need to say, right? So some people will be just pious people, pious sentimental people. For them, you can make a sentimental sale. Okay, which is pretty much like, everybody should have Bhagavad Gita. It's very auspicious. This is a very auspicious day. If you don't have
Mm-hmm.
Bhagavad Gita, it's just like this, just sentimental push, and then let Prabhupada's book go into their house. This is one option. The other option, especially for those who seem like a little bit middle-aged, educated, etc., you have to give them, and this is what I was telling. See, now for at least I'll explain what our devotees are doing, because we have this, especially for Kannada speaking devotees, we have this 4 book set called Gita Sara Kirana, which have very, very specific, which have specific message to be given. So for Kannada devotees, our devotees are very, very clearly targeting, saying that, see, you know who you are, you know how to be happy in this life. These books explain, right? So similarly, based on what
Okay.
books you are focusing on explain on distributing, please understand what is there in those books and make little notes. One of the things that works amazingly well is to have a question and point out the answer in the book. I told this before also, right? So if you have some question which you think is relevant for them, and you show the answer
Mm-hmm.
in the book, right? Then they
Okay,
will know,
Prabhu.
oh, okay, see, this question is getting answered here. Now I have so many other questions. Maybe, or that will trigger them to think, and they know that their answers are specifically so simply, easy to understand, in a way easy to understand. It's been given in the books, right? See, if we don't know what is there in the book, that is why Prabhupada used to say, first read the book that you're distributing, right? And make some notes. That we
Yes,
impacted
Prabhu.
you. If you do this, then book distribution is, I mean, generally that is the sincerity I'm talking about. That is the humility, right? Not just, we are in a rajasic mood there. And many times I tell devotees saying that if books are not going, just pray at that point of time, saying that Krishna, it's not me. Looks like I'm trying to be independent, thinking that, I have the ability to distribute books. No, I don't have the ability. Please, I have got so many books. Yesterday, some devotees was asking me, saying that, Prabhu, please, we have taken so many books to distribute on Vaikuntha Ekadashi. Please bless us. I said, no, who am I to bless? Just sincerely go out and pray to Krishna, pray to Prabhupada. They will give you mercy. But for that, you have to be conscious the whole day that it's not my distribution, and don't be satisfied. Oh, okay, I got 100 books, I distributed 20, I'm happy. No, your target when you go out of the house tomorrow is saying 100 books have to get over today, right? And that extreme desire, if it is there, Krishna will manifest his mercy. See, we have to always remember this. Krishna is not going to hold back his mercy. Please remember this. He is going to give that mercy, but it depends on your desire. If you desire and if you put sincere effort, his mercy will manifest. Last year, I just had this I was in one bookstall and I just desired saying that 300 books have to go. I don't know where that number came. It just came to me. 300 books have to
Mm-hmm.
go. Almost by the end, it was almost 290 or something by the end
Very
at
well.
12, by 11 o'clock. Okay. And then we were thinking, okay, 10 books, 10 books, 10 books. Somehow suddenly some people came from here and there and other, and just another 10 books got distributed. Right. So it's not in our, it's not, we are not doing it. We have to be conscious about this and be prayerful and try our
Mhm.
best. And because see, there's going to be a lot of crowd in all temples. It's also
Yes.
not that inordinate amount of time we spend talking to somebody who eventually might not take the book also.
Ah, yes.
Right. So you have
So,
to see 3 minutes, 3 minutes
mhm.
maximum.
Yes.
If you want to spend with somebody, don't spend more than 3 minutes.
Mhm.
Some of these things are very, very practical tips we have to bear in mind. Otherwise, we just lose some 10 other people who might have taken the books. Right, Krishna?
So what should be the? I mean, I'm just asking. For, so the approach, Prabhu. Yeah, I mean, I've been outside, So again, it all depends on how things work out that day. But what is that initial approach, with which we should show them the books?
No, one is you should have a good display. You should be seen,
Yes. Hmm.
first thing.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and you should have, and you should, first thing is you should see when people come there, see you, right? First of all,
Hmm.
we should be in Vaishnava attire, obviously,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Hmm.
And we should always be people we should be approachable. Sometimes I've seen devotees very serious or seem indifferent. We want to come and take. Uh, not
Yes.
like that, right?
Hmm.
So we should be approachable. There should be some smile on the face, and we should
Yes.
also be go out with confidence, saying that we are distributing the biggest mercy, right? We're not begging anything from anybody, right? We are giving, right? And try to talk to every person, saying that
Yes.
can I just speak to you for 10 seconds? You can ask
Yes.
this. Yeah, I just want 10 seconds of your precious time. Simple. People will talk that much. They are well mannered, right? If you thrust a book in front of their face, they will go away. And many people they shy away. Then I say, no, no, no. There's no charge to talking to me. Please come, right? So
Mhm.
try and pray to Krishna. It's not we can't say. I know there are devotees who are doing more distribution than I have ever done in this group, right? And they will have so many more valuable things to say. But these are some few things that I have experienced in my life. And don't sit down, don't rest, don't take a break, don't think about afternoon things are generally slow, so I will take a break for 2 hours, 3 hours. No, many times I've seen
Mhm.
like some 100 books just go, because that is the time when the crowd is less. You can even
Yeah,
like talk nicely and
and more
convince somebody also.
correct. More time is there.
Yeah, so don't plan to be out from the time in the morning. Set up the table as early as possible.
Yes.
You should be the last person to go out of the temple. The temple, authorities should come and lock their place, right?
Mhm. Yes.
And it'll work. It'll work. I've seen continuously. Normally our goals, the way it is one whole month, whatever we are distributed, those many books will go on one day. So assume you've done 300 Bhagavad
Mhm.
Gitas in one month, you will distribute 300 Bhagavad Gitas in one day. That's how powerful this Vaikuntha Ekadashi opportunity is for us. So please, somehow just go there and don't think I'm one, I'm two, I'm three, they are 50. It doesn't matter. There's one
Yes.
Hanuman only. Hanuman was only one, right? There's
Right.
no
Right.
use, right? So just go out with that surrender and it'll Krishna will bestow mercy.
And somewhere probably two to three counters are there, actually.
Yeah.
At the,
So
at the
yeah,
ISKCON temple also. But still,
yeah,
everybody gives it goes. I can I seen again.
yeah. Yes,
everybody
yes,
distribute a
yes.
book.
So yes, Anukul Prabhu is making a very valid point. See what happens sometimes, same different teams come to the same temple. Now, one of the things for
Yes.
this is the more serious ones should be strategic about this. Okay, in the sense you should go, build a good rapport with the temple authorities. Maybe you will go and put a table at, previous night itself or at 3 o'clock in the morning. See, something is, extra has to be done to get
Yes,
that
yes,
critical spot, right?
yes,
Wherein
bro.
you will be, possibly the, the right place. It requires effort. It requires commitment.
Actually, what happened long back, I was there. Some other
Yes, Prabhu.
counter was there also from ISKCON only. Our
Uh-huh.
this how we were selling that price, and they started doing 50, 70 rupees. I sent
Mm.
somebody. I said, okay, you purchase how many books are there?
Yeah,
Come,
yeah.
matter, and let them go home. Actually, can you
Yeah,
imagine?
yeah, correct, correct. So this also we are ready to do,
Yes.
right? So tomorrow, if somebody comes and says they are just slashing their price, you just ask them how many books do you have? You have 100 books. Okay, just give it to me. You go. Just pay them, take the books, and let them go. Because we don't want to. It's not that money, right? It's the value that we are giving, and
Value of
we
books.
want to do it the right way. Not by this price cutting business is craziness. Actually,
Yes,
it's
bro.
just like simply we become like normal sellers, like salesmen. Right, but there's no value which will get delivered. So yeah, which is also an option. If any of our devotees face this, please, we can call Anukul Prabhu, you can call me, you can call any of the authorities of the temple, and you just take care of, do whatever is required so that, we don't create unnecessary. We've done this last year also. I remember that, many places we had these issues, and we just said, okay, take those books, just buy those books.
Mm.
Yeah, thank you.
I
Okay,
want to
bro.
share one point. Yesterday, I went to Anpurushrinagar Prabhu.
Yeah.
One middle-aged Mataji,
Hmm.
she takes every year target of 108 Bhagavad Gita. And she
Oh,
said,
great.
from last 4 years, she said, I'm distributing every year 108 Bhagavad Gita.
Oh,
Now she is close at 110. Now she said, now I want to 150. She has made her target. Actually, she
yeah,
said,
yeah,
so that way every year she's give distributed mean people are there who has not Bhagavad Gita. So I see on like Vaikuntha Kashi, people who have Bhagavad Gita, so still they say, okay, let's, because it's a Krishna Vani, okay, not today, okay,
yeah.
Vaikuntha Kashi, let's take another book also to home, actually.
Correct, correct, correct. And we can always say, if you have a book, you say, gift this. You have a brother, you have a sister,
Yeah,
you have somebody else, gift the book. It's such an auspicious day. You can't give a better gift than Bhagavad
yeah,
Gita.
you can
So
say you are taking today Vaikuntha Kashi, Krishna's mercy, Krishna
yes,
said, I'm in Bhagavad Gita, Kanwani, like that way we can,
yeah,
so many
yeah,
things we can say, actually, can imagine.
yeah. And we should say, we should pray to
Yeah.
Krishna, and we should try.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you,
bro.
Prabhu. Thank you,
Okay.
Prabhu. Yeah, yeah. Rohini Mataji, anything you wanted to say?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I think my
Yeah,
question is answered. Like, putting, tables from, different groups in the same temple.
yeah, yeah. No problem,
Yeah.
no problem.
So what if
Yeah.
they are selling for different price and we are selling
We
for
just said no.
the
We just buy it off, buy their stock.
buy their stick?
Yeah.
Okay. And
We are
people,
business. We
yeah.
are we are
So,
transcendental businessmen for Krishna,
okay.
and we
Okay.
are aggressive also.
And
Yeah.
the line is very huge. Some people might be in the front, we are in the middle, maybe somebody else in the at the end. If the
Mm.
same person is asked by three different groups, so it would create a bad impact, right? So how do we know whether that person was asked by other group or
That and all is okay. That we all just
okay.
get on. See,
Okay.
sometimes we also have to make some strategy also, right? Saying that sometimes if there is a lot of it's always good to be in one place where people who are going, and then if three people are there, you distribute, saying that okay, I will take care of people who are coming this direction, you take
Mhm.
care of that direction, etc. If you are in different
Right.
parts of the line, then obviously it will get repeated. Sometimes that also works.
Yes.
Instead of three people, maybe if two people, maybe three is too much. Maybe two people, one person asked, and then that person declined. Again, another person asked. He might say, "Oh, what is this?
Uh,
Twice somebody is asking to me to take book.
okay.
Maybe I should take." Right.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, see, we don't have to worry too much about these nitty-gritties. Somehow,
Uh,
don't upset people. That's the only
okay.
thing I request. I saw some. I know these devotees are not from Bangalore. They're from Kanpur or somewhere. They distribute books every year in near Hulimavu, and they act really. I mean, they literally block the roads. They bring
Oh.
face the book in front of the person's face who is riding on the road. I mean, this is what made us very unpopular in the US,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So we should not,
yes.
there should be some human approach, right? If somebody is not willing to, you just thank him for for his or her time and say thank you. We look forward to talking to you again. That's all. Be humble, be nice.
Yeah,
Don't go crazy. We should not go crazy to distribute books. It's not the last day for us.
right,
They should
right.
leave with a good impression about ISKCON, which is why we also have some Kada Prasadam,
Yes,
give somebody
yes,
some prasadam, even if they don't take a book. What is there? They'll come back
yes.
today or tomorrow. I try, yeah. Okay, thank
And
you
it
all.
is okay,
Yeah.
Prabhu, to suggest our.
Pranam Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rohini Mataji, what is that? Were you saying something or Ruchira
Is
Mataji?
it okay, like to set? Yes, yes. Is it okay to set? Just leave the temple to the one group and concentrate on the temple, or is it
No,
okay
no, all
to
these are just
do?
material thought processes. Don't worry. Just go into the battle.
Okay.
When Krishna has given you a place, go there and sincerely try. Like I said, if it is observed, like somebody is, you're selling at 250, somebody is coming and selling at 150, 200,
300.
then you just
Mhm.
have first one conversation. If they say, no, 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 we don't want, then you tell him, you want to distribute books, right? Okay, give us the books. We will take it. That's
Okay.
all. Right.
Okay.
It's not a
Okay.
big, I mean,
Thank
any which way, it's not, nobody is going to come with 10,000 books, right? Somebody would have come with, say,
you.
100 books.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the big deal? 20,000 rupees, just buy it and close, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Hare.
yeah. Ruchira Mataji.
Yes, Pranam Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Prabhuji,
Pranam.
actually, I have a confusion regarding the date of Ekadashi. Here in North India, it is
Yeah,
on 31st.
yeah. For
Is
us, it
that
is South India is 30th, and
okay?
we do on 31st. Yeah, so this might be relevant for South India. Vaikuntha Ekadashi is very hugely, heavily celebrated here, right? With
Okay.
tens of thousands of people, coming to temples. So, which is why this is the biggest opportunity for us to distribute books, especially in South India. Yeah. So
Okay.
we do distribution on 30th. This time
Okay.
we eat grain prasadam, and on 31st we do our Ekadashi.
Okay. It is on 31st now. Like the fasting is
Yeah.
on
For
31st.
us it's
Oh,
on 31st. Yes.
yes, yes. And Prabhuji, like many people here are interested in taking the books but without paying. So is that okay?
Not at all okay. Are
Okay.
they going to
Okay.
eat
Fine.
food without paying? Will they go to a restaurant, eat food and not pay? No way.
So
We are
much
not going to give in.
distribution I'm not able to do, but little whatsoever I do. So I find many people they are interested in taking books, but not in paying.
No, no, no.
So
That is
yeah,
all
I'll take care.
bogus. That is bogus. I
Right,
mean,
right. Mm-hmm.
Prabhupada never approved this. Prabhupada never approved
Oh,
free distribution of books. He said they have to pay.
okay.
Only then they're going to be serious, right? That they're putting some money somewhere, which means that, oh, there is some. Prabhupada said this, saying that then they'll think, oh, there's something here. I paid money for this. Let me see what is there inside in that. Right? So no, no free
Yes,
distribution.
Prabhuji. I'll
Especially,
first.
except in like some, we go to government schools, children who really don't have anything, who can't afford their fees also, maybe there, right? But not in public, not to grahasthas, not to family people, no question of. Somebody might say, okay, I have 10 rupees less, I have 20 rupees less. That's okay. That's okay.
Right, right.
Right? But not
Yes,
just like as a principle giving books for free. No.
yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you all for your, enthusiasm, and we hope that everybody somehow, at least for some time, somewhere, distributes these books. Okay. Thank you all. Hare Krishna.